I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First thing we have on our agenda, just so that we know for the minutes, Brewster is sick. He will not be here. Danielle is on her way. She'll be here shortly, and I think Candace should be here, as far as I know. So, all right. First on our agenda, we have approval of minutes, public and non-public, from February 13th.
So I'll make a motion to approve February 13th, both public and non-public minutes.
Okay. And we have a second?
Second.
All right. Hope seconds. Any comments, corrections? Anything we need to fix? I didn't see anything that looked fine to me.
I don't have anything either.
It matched what I remember, my memory, so. Everybody good? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, abstention, all set. All right, next thing we have on our agenda is public comments. Is there any public comment at this time? Okay, we will open and keep it open for 30 minutes as in accordance with state law. Presentation, NELMS Spotlight School. Mr. Toll, the floor is yours.
All right. So first of all,
Need help?
I will need some help, Mr. Suddy.
Let me hold that for you.
Dawn's a good helper too. She's having to help too.
So
There we go.
this is the banner that was presented to us from NELMS, New England League of Middle Schools. So there's the National Association, there's the New England, and then there's our own New Hampshire Association. So there are 3 levels. So we were looking to be a spotlight school, and I'll explain the process and what that means. It's a 3-year usually process. COVID stopped it, so it took us 5 years. But with the staff that has come and gone in the last 5 years, it's pretty astounding that we had a vision and a mission, and we stayed on course to achieve the banner. Being a spotlight school, we're now on the hook for the entire New England area of anyone that wants to improve their school, and we have something that we've perfected, like our advisory, like our discipline code, or any of that. They are free to come and visit us and steal our ideas or how we did it. So we now are obligated to help other schools become a spotlight school as well. And in 3 years, we will reapply to up our status, or someone will, I won't be here, and to continue, because it's a worthwhile endeavor. So that's the banner. It's hanging, it'll be hanging in a new place after tonight, because I took it down from where it was, and it'll have a permanent home.
Do we want to show the camera?
Oh, sure.
Let me turn it around. I'll let you
Turn around.
so they can see it on the camera.
Show the camera there.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully we're in
So
frame.
that, if you come into IRS, you'll see that there.
Come this way a little bit more too.
Yes. The new mobile is hanging in the skylight, and it will be either on the left or in behind that, up in that skylight where you can
Nice.
see it.
Nice.
thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Anyone have? Did you have? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I have a little bit more. So, back in 2018, since I arrived at Indian River School, we have been told by the State Department we need to fix our math schools. And so every improvement plan that we made from 2010 when I got here to 2018 was how to fix our math schools, how to get one of our subpopulations to meet the standard closer to the regular population, which is never going to happen, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try. And we did a lot of nice things, and we did improve our scores. The problem was we improved the top at a higher rate than we improved the bottom, so the gap that they're concerned about got wider instead of smaller. So we finally made a decision that let's lobby the State Department to use our title money to do a school improvement plan. Not a math improvement plan, but a school-wide. So we got talking about New England League of Middle Schools, and back in the 70s, this came around, and this document, this we believe, is what the New England League of Middle Schools, or the entire national came up with as a matrix of what should be and an effective middle school. And I know you know that by heart. And so they look at that matrix, and first thing they did when we met with Bill Downey from NELMS in that summer of 2018, he goes, I'm going to give you a survey. In this survey, I want you to have students, parents, and staff fill out. And all the results went to Bill Downey. Now, Bill, you got the survey results, and they're all by category out of the 16 characteristics of this, we believe. And he brought a team of 4 other educators with him as a visiting committee. And that visiting committee was from one from Massachusetts, one from Vermont, I think Bill's from Massachusetts, and 2 from New Hampshire. So they were from the New England states at other middle schools, practicing middle educators, principals, teachers, you name it. So they had the survey results. That committee met with parents, met with students, met with the paraeducators, met with the administrative team, met with teachers, subgroups of teachers, and spent 3 days interviewing our school and the people in our school. And were very flattering when they were done of what a warm and welcoming school we had. Then they took the survey results and all the data they had gathered by asking questions about what we do and how we do it, and they gave us a long list of recommendations to put an improvement plan together on how to be a spotlight school. So the leadership team dug in 2018, and in 18-19 we had an improvement plan. First thing we did was we created the Tiger Code. What are the expectations of behavior in and around the school and all the sub-areas around the school? Everybody be consistent in enforcing those rules. We did that. We have a MTSS period. We've had that from back in 2010. They like that. They like the way that our teachers interacted with the kids. They like the way that the kids were happy about their school and being there. But they gave us a lot of recommendations to work on. An advisory program. We needed to work on that. We needed a better schedule, especially around unified arts. And there are so many, and it's hard for me to remember off the top of my head. But we put a lot of those practices, PBIS, and a reward card for positive behavior. And we put a lot of that in place the first 2 years. And we went to the NELMS conference on the 1st of March in 2020, and we all come back excited. And that Monday, we all went home.
Yes, we did.
Superintendent said, goodbye.
We did.
There's this thing called COVID, and I don't want you back. So we lost a full head of steam in 2020, and then 2021, there were a whole different list of rules of how we were going to operate schools, and this whole plan stalled because we had a whole new list of things we had to get done. And then in 21-22, I went to the high school, and Tina took over. She was still under very rigid COVID protocols. We were trying to open up the high school a little bit more because the kids were older and those things. And then we reversed last year our roles, and we got back at it. And so Bill brought another team back to relook at our plan, tell us what we had accomplished, and with a new committee, look at the plan and revise it. And so this year, an advisory program was put in. A better unified arts schedule during the day was put in. Communication to parents, now with our SMORE newsletter, bi-weekly, that goes out. So we're communicating with parents on a much larger scale than ever before. And so I contacted the Spotlight School Coordinator, and I said, I'd like to have an update status where we're at. And he came and he goes, we're not going to update, we're going to certify it. And they spent a full day looking at everything we had done. Again, they interviewed students, they interviewed staff, they interviewed parents, custodians, whoever they could grab and pull aside, they asked questions. And they walked away ecstatic. And a unanimous decision to certify us as a Spotlight school. And then they turned around and asked us to do a presentation at the NELMS conference. The piece I just said tonight is my part of the presentation. I'll get it up to 2020, and then the rest of my team will take over from there. But pretty much, if anyone wants to be a Spotlight School, we've just gone through the processes. So our job is to help anyone who wants to try them. Again, we're a Spotlight, so we're allowed to ask us questions. So some of the things that the visiting team, when they certified us as a Spotlight School, they said that we had a staff and administration committed to the whole child. School leaders demonstrate strong collaboration with staff and students and value the opinions of others. An introductory standardized advisory program has taken root as an encouraging and necessary beginning for meeting young adolescents' social-emotional needs. Experiential learning experiences such as Roots outdoor program draw direct connections between the interest of the students and the content of the curriculum. Common planning time for teacher teams with an emphasis on assessing all students' social, emotional, and academic needs is an exemplary model for all middle-level schools. School-wide PBIS is in place as students have been responsive. Tiger Box, it's been at the Tiger Store. Communication processes between school and personnel and caregivers is a definite strength. Thank you for the sworn newsletter.
There you go.
Students feel safe in their learning environment, and school counselors are frequently accessible to students, and the leadership opportunities for students is ongoing. Those were why they decided that with all the improvements that we put together, that we are a Spotlight School. And we have come a long way. The next task is, as I retire, the next administration does not lose that. They maintain that because it is best for kids, and it's been best for us.
Do you want to show up your banner?
We already did.
No, you missed the
You missed it. It's
How
on.
did you do it by yourself?
I didn't.
Do you
You
list
twirled it around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I had
Good
help.
job,
You
good job.
listed, you grabbed
I
it.
had help.
Sorry, I was bitter.
Does anyone have any questions for Kevin?
You did it? Oh, you're
Or
so-
comments or anything like that?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Determination.
That was grit.
Now,
Sticking for it.
it speaks to the staff. I mean, like I said, we've had a lot of people go to other schools that really deserve a lot of credit, as well as our current staff. But we've maintained it with all the new people. That, to me, is amazing. And it needs to continue. We get to re-up it in 3 years, like I said, so they'll send another committee back. They've given us already 3 recommendations to be re-upped as a Spotlight School in 3 years. One of them Miss Isabel is working on, so we're already working on that new improvement plan for that. So
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's certainly been quite a process, and I think the resilience that that you and the staff have had over time it is a great way to showcase the resilience that we also are hoping that our students and families will have.
this is not something that every school in New Hampshire is designated like this in the Upper Valley. There's only one other school
Mm-hmm.
up by the college
Yeah, that one, yeah.
that has that designation. Nobody else in the Upper Valley has that designation.
This is so great. It brings a lot of really good, good stuff to our district, and I think it almost worked out. We got 2 visits from them, and you got a little bonus written assessment, and it worked out, And yeah, it is not ideal, and it would have been nice to be done with this years ago, but we're here, so it's.
But one of the nice things on that, and it was a year ago that they came and revised our plan, and the first thing they said, you've done a lot of work, and how your building has quieted down through the new behavior code and the expectations held accountable to all students throughout the building, was immediately noticed by Bill Downey, who was there in the beginning. So he automatically, we are on the right track. So.
That's good. Cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. And this is really helpful too. I think this is good for not just from Spotlight School, but this, 16 characteristics of educating young adolescents. This is really, really cool. So thank you for sharing that with us. So, all right. Any public comment, any questions or anything for Kevin on that? can see some of your former students now off doing other things. They're going to talk about the trip they're taking internationally, so. All right.
I'm gonna scoot out.
Yeah, by all means.
I'm still battling bronchitis myself.
Uh-oh. All right, next thing on our agenda, we have a student representative report. Take it away.
Right.
Right.
Do you want to leave it for tomorrow?
Just some updates on sports. Not a lot going on. Just got back from break, obviously. But our Mascoma boys made it to the semifinals. Unfortunately, that's it. But they've had some they're a really good team. Yeah. In the last couple of years, they've been super successful, and they continue. They have some really good players. And then the girls varsity basketball made it to quarterfinals, which is crazy because they haven't made it to any playoffs in years. So that's really, really amazing. And then wrestling state championships were a couple weekends ago. Junior Ethan Lewis was placed 4th, and then Sierra placed 3rd in the women's states. She took home a championship last year, but I guess there's some new ones.
But it just means they're all getting better. Like,
They are,
that's
it's good.
good.
There's actually, just a little side note, I was at the state champion meet, and there's this girl, she's a junior now, and she's won normal states, not women's. She's won states the past 3 years. Her freshman year, she moved up in weight class, sophomore year and won, and then she moved up again this year and won.
Yikes.
I watched her beat like a bunch of guys, it's awesome.
Throwing them on the map. Like nothing.
Yeah, so it's definitely getting a lot bigger, and I think Sierra's looking at, colleges that offer women's wrestling programs.
See? All right.
It's really amazing, yeah. And then the co-op hockey team that Mascoma, we have some players on, has one of their playoff games this weekend on Saturday. And then softball, baseball, and track will be starting mid-March. They just released the date for our spring sports info night, so that's coming up quick. And then some other events that are going on. The Winter Carnival before we went on break was super fun, successful. It was a good way to get off the break. And then the musical, Freaky Friday, is coming up, be performed on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. And then the senior trip should be presented the next meeting, and it's coming. They sent it to her. But the plan just is to go on a Sunny P Lake cruise on Wednesday. It's like the 12th, that Wednesday night. And the following day, we'll get up, go to Maine, play some mini golf, hang out, walk the boardwalk, stuff, Old Orchard. Have some lunch together, and then spend the rest of our day at Funhouse Splashtown and get home relatively early for graduation the next day. And we have, I think it's exactly 75 seniors who've said they're going, which is way more than I thought.
That's almost all of them.
Yeah, we have 88, so that's a really good turnout compared to what other people participated. And then the prom venue has been confirmed. It'll be in Hartford at the Cornerstone building on the 18th.
All right.
And the juniors are, working on plans for that.
Cool. Very cool. Any questions for Sophia on anything? All right. Well, thank you for updates. Can we get the hockey game on the sign, maybe? It's a playoff game. They're in a team.
I'll take care of that right now.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
But you can update it from your phone. That's pretty sweet.
No.
Oh.
But she knows who can.
Well, I did spend a bunch of time convincing the Valley News to put our name in the hockey team, so they are now, actually. Since then, they've put the full name.
Yeah,
So.
it was just a really nice article about one of our students in the Valley News, and it was quoted correctly.
It was, well, then
Wonderful.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I got our name in there, so yeah, that's good.
Did you do some coaching?
No. Yeah, I did a little coaching on media. Yeah.
And through our partners with the Lebanon Ice Hockey Boosters, they have a corporate sponsor that is donating the cost for tickets. So similar to what Rose Athletic Boosters did for some of our other playoff games with NHIA ticketed tickets that needed to be purchased. Their Mascoma students who attend with their ID will be able to attend.
and that's great because we do have I've been talking to kids for the past few days.
It's a
They
great
are really
opportunity for
excited.
them.
They told me not to sit with them.
Probably
That's
so,
all right.
yeah.
You'd be in front of them leading the cheers. And the
Oh,
mascot.
I could bring the pom-poms.
There you go. But that's great. Yeah, no, support them. This is a new sport for our school, so yeah, anything we can do to get the kids psyched up about it's great. Cool. All right, next thing on our agenda, we have EIC committee minutes. Hope, do you want to talk about those?
Well, we had a small meeting,
Yeah.
but really fun from my perspective. And we got to hear from Principal Jamie Winnie on the new WIN block that they've instituted at EVS, which is stand for why win?
What I need.
What I need, right? Not why win, what I need. Sorry. There we are. What I need block.
If I didn't know that, I would have thought it was a play on her name. but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
what
it.
I need.
What I need,
yeah.
yes. And anyways, it was fascinating. It was, Jamie has been working on this for a while, and they did a lot of research into the data before they got things going, and they looked at the data, and they really kind of soul searched and dug in and asked what the kids needed. So they came up with this 30-minute, very targeted block. It targeted kind of instruction block for the school. They tested the kids in the fall, and then they looked at the scores again after they instituted this block and saw a huge improvement. And it was very exciting. It was very inspiring to listen to this story and the things that that you did with getting instruction and paraprofessionals and all sorts of things. So it was great. That was really fun. I enjoyed it very much. And I do believe they're looking at maybe potentially moving that over to CES.
Absolutely, that would
Yeah.
be implemented into the schedule for CES
Right.
next year.
Yeah, no, so it was great. And ground up, and it was great. It's everything you want to hear. So, and then we had a look at I'm going to get this one wrong too, the MTSSB.
You got it.
Multi-tiered system of support for behavioral health,
There you go.
You got it.
which Tina is all over and talked about, and that also was incredibly fascinating. And they are that also is very, they're very much digging into the data, and there's a ways to go. This looks more like, they're looking at the structure as a whole, with the supports all across the curriculum and the classes. So, and she gave me the handbook and the matrix, which you guys have here.
Yep.
And it looks great. So I'm not sure, there's probably something else I could be saying about that, but I really enjoyed that, so.
No, it's a ton of information in your packet. So.
Yeah, there really is, and it's good information.
Mhm.
And lots of data and things to look at, so it's good stuff.
Cool.
So, let's see, we're kind of trying to take a deep dive on the policies and clean them up a bit. That's it. So,
Any questions for Hope on that? Or Amanda?
for Tina, she's been here.
This is great.
No, it was very inspiring.
Tell Jamie thank you for
Yeah,
sharing
really.
this. This is really nice. Right. Cool. All right. Next thing on our list is superintendent's report. Amanda.
Sure, so you do have my written report in the packet. This is our first week back from February break. Custodial staff worked really hard, and we got a few projects accomplished. Sophia did a lovely job of talking about the accomplishments here at the high school. I think the sign said it best when it said Vascoma Proud. I think this is a very strong time for our schools, and I do appreciate all the hard work that goes into that, right? We've seen Kevin with the Blue Ribbon School. We've seen some successful drama productions and successful sports teams here at the high school. We've seen a Blue Ribbon School in the last year or so, and Canaan will be making some more steps to make some improvements. So Vascoma Proud says it very well. Hiring season is upon us. We do have our open positions posted on our website, advertised on the local educational website, School Spring, not local, nationwide. And then we also have the local newspaper, the Valley News, printing those, and we'll see what happens there. Our new district letter is going, the newsletter for the district will be going out March 1st. We do have hopefully both drama productions in there so that people can start to make plans and save the date so that they can attend those. I'm going to talk to Butler's Bus about potentially providing some transportation for some of our seniors to be able to come. We'll, block off some donated tickets for them and see if we can perhaps get some of the senior center to attend one of the plays. That's part of the Canaan Economic Development Committee that I attend as a school representative. And, they're saying their seniors are looking for things to do, and transportation is a barrier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Butlers if they would be willing to donate a bus or some type of van transportation to help people out. Like, I think maybe one of the vans would be really nice.
Yeah.
So that's my hope, and that's my hope to get some, positive public support there. People can see the great work of our kids. And then one final reminder is voting day will be on the 12th.
That's right. Cool. Any questions for Amanda? All right. Exciting stuff going on, and yes, we are very proud of our kids. Business Administrator's report. I did not see
You
financials.
do not have one.
No, I did not. So
We'll get financials for February
next meeting, which
Next
will be
week.
which will be at the end of March. So Galapagos trip update. Is that you guys?
That's
All
us.
right.
We have
Hola.
students here with us today too, so if we have questions, they're so excited.
Bueno.
So we do have an updated itinerary that's been shared with us through Andean. We are closely still following the travel advisory. There has been no change whatsoever all along. So we're still following at a level 2. We watch it we're all checking it constantly, but there's been no changes. So we're moving ahead. We're getting excited. We're doing some other things like looking at curriculum and cool stuff for the kids, and Andean's giving us more and more information related to what we get to do and how much educational components go with it. So that's kind of the update we have. It's pretty, we're all getting excited. Looking at our sunblock and making sure we're safe and all the experiences that we can have there, and it's amazing.
Cool. Anything else? I don't know.
Well, that's what I know the travel advisories that on everybody's.
Not from you, yeah. Anything from,
Mostly for them.
I don't
Do you
know,
want to talk
David,
about
is there? I don't know.
Are you excited? You want to talk? You got to come over here
No,
though.
I know they don't want to talk. That's why.
Come on. So
Even
Finn
if you
is
just tell us,
going
maybe like, what's one thing you've seen, kind of the plans for the trip. What was the reason that you were interested in taking advantage of this opportunity, or what's one thing that you're looking forward to on the trip?
I think that I'm looking forward to hiking. I feel like it'll be very different than it is here, so I'm excited to see that. And not to sound too New Hampshire kiddie, but I've never been out of New England. It's very exciting to me to be able to go.
Yeah, the climate and culture down there is a lot different than up here, and I'm really excited to just see that.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead.
One other question I had is, how are you planning on documenting the trip, and how do you anticipate bringing that back and sharing with others, including with us?
They might not know this.
I've got
So
an
Mr.
idea.
Sunny is prepared to share
Is this
that.
like an idea?
I suspected there might
So
be
we've got a
something.
little bit of, we've got a curriculum. We've got a GoPro.
All right.
We have
They don't know they're
an
vlogging.
extender for our GoPro.
Okay.
Anybody who goes diving, we can bring the GoPro underwater.
Oh,
We have a hand cam. And for those who do go diving and lose the camera, this will float.
Good.
So we will not lose equipment. I do have, this is a chest pack for your GoPro for documenting.
Nice.
And this is the one you put on your head so you can walk around, hiking, and you can do that. And I think Mr. Damien's got a little treat under his that we're gonna try to create a vlog depending on updates on a daily basis. We're working with Camlet to get a web page blog
Yeah.
whether it becomes a vlog or a blog, depending on how much speed we can do to upload.
Right.
Might be more writing than pictures, but we'll see what we can do.
I am an English teacher.
So these are some of the artifacts that we will be using to capture some videography. We hope to make a 10-minute documentary, slideshow, and other visual stuff. They'll get real good at it.
Yeah.
And we of course have 4 out of my 6 different Spanish classes represented in the students that are going on the trip. So the hope is that they'll be able to come back and present to their classmates that didn't attend the trip and share their experience with them. And depending on study hall schedules, get those kids into my other Spanish classes as well as Miss Lee's Spanish classes.
Oh, and in case they don't know, we did send out through the Google Classroom. I'll be doing 3 mini courses for the next 3 weeks on how to storyboard, use the equipment, and put together a production.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the plan within the trip is a lot of cultural immersion. There's like a lot of really, taking in all that it has to offer in Ecuador as well as the Galapagos Islands. So there's some, we just reevaluated. So that it's really good.
It's exciting.
Some of us have to speed up on our high school Spanish.
It'll come back faster than you realize.
So was this open to just Spanish class
Yes.
kids?
Yes.
Or was it like everybody?
Nope, it was just Spanish class. We had multiple conversations about including science.
Right.
But the cost, it really gets extra prohibitive. Like the bigger you get, the harder it is. You have boats you have to take places, and so it became sort of prohibitive in that aspect of traveling with 30 people. So really just the language piece alone is just massive. And then you add all of the conservation pieces they have to do. There's a community project, there's a restoration project that they're part of as part of the trip. So really looking at that conservation component. And that's in their Galapagos National Park.
Good. Cool.
Great.
Any other questions? All right, well, if we don't see you before then, have fun. And have a blast. To try whatever food, because you're not going to get to do that again.
Yeah.
If you think it's
Yeah.
gross.
And
And
there
you have a
is, like,
story to tell.
There is a piece of the trip that cultural food and
Good.
things like that. So.
Because then you'd be like, I ate a grasshopper, or whatever, and like, whatever you did.
Sophia. No,
Grasshopper, come on.
That's nothing.
I'm not eating a grasshopper.
That's nothing.
Okay, Sophia. I'll eat one if you try one. Nope.
They're so popular. Grasshoppers are such a popular snack. I think
So
they
thank
actually
you.
sell them in chocolate covered grasshoppers. Yeah, I've seen them.
Anything with chocolate, you're good.
That's right. All right, cool. Okay, well, thanks, Sophia. All right, let's see. Up here, we have Teachers Appreciation Week approval. And you see in your packet, there is a, Man's already got it ready, shopping cart, some personalized mugs.
Yeah.
Spill the beans. Go ahead.
So this has sort of been, we have quite a few other school districts mugs at the SAU office. And it's been, a long time coming that I thought, we typically buy new teachers a mug, they don't usually say Mascoma. If you don't drink coffee, you can at least put your pens in it on your desk. So that's what we're requesting. We've done pins for a very long time. The teachers are pinned out. They've said they're kind of done with that. So we're looking at other things. We're looking at non-food items and something that's sort of, we're ordering enough of these so that new teachers entering this year would also get the mugs in their new teacher orientation.
Very cool. Any questions on that?
Need a motion?
I was going to say,
I
if you was to
I
say.
do need your,
I have a quick
Oh, sure.
question. I mean, I said this last year, but I feel like we should up the budget line here for this
Yeah,
overall.
yeah.
yeah, we can.
I really do. And I think it was 1,000 or something last year, but obviously these cost this amount, but can we add extra?
We can go to like 3 and just have some money so we're not constricted. Yeah, for next year's
Yeah,
budget,
absolutely.
or the
I
next
appreciate
budget that we do. But, yeah, I mean, luckily it's small enough we can find little bits here and there, but it would be
Yeah,
nice to start with
I
a bigger
just feel
number.
like it's, I mean, I know how much they scramble to do what they do with what, so, and we could have something maybe on it.
Yeah.
So,
In the past, I think we've also done paid for a meal. I'm assuming that
It gets,
might also be.
yeah,
Or
well,
no?
you guys usually do, we try to do off meals because honestly, there's so much food involved
During
in
those
this
weeks,
week from
yeah.
the PTAs
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
parents. So you guys
Yeah.
typically have done off meals, like welcome back to school
Oh,
meal.
yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And
And
I
like
think I
the full
asked you to do
day.
another one last year.
Yeah, there
too.
was, I think maybe
End of the
during,
year?
or orientation, or we did one end of the year
We
one
did one
too.
end of the year at one point.
Yeah.
I don't remember
You know
why.
what? I think it might be for the
Oh,
professional development day
Yes.
that's coming up in March. So if you wanted to do that again, I would love that too.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Because I think you're right, Danielle. I think that's
Yeah.
what you approve
Well,
for
they can put that in
spring.
motion too, I guess.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we approve up to $3,000 for the cost of March professional development meal for staff, as well as Teacher Appreciation Week mug as presented.
Okay,
Does that work for the meal?
Yeah, that should be good.
okay. Do you have a second?
I second.
Okay. Wait, who is that? Which one of you was that? Vicky, okay. So I wasn't looking at it, started voice. All right, any further discussion on that? I think mugs are a great idea. And now you can throw out all the other SAU mugs. Or the other school district mugs out of the SAU. Get them out of there.
Yeah.
You don't need that. All right, all those in favor of the motion for the meal and the mugs up to $3,000 signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, abstentions, all righty.
How many teachers are there?
Around 250 staff,
Right.
all staff.
All staff,
All
paras,
staff,
everyone, yeah. Yeah, that would be good, because then, like you said, you can get newcomers for the next year, at least.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Next on our agenda, we have a donation. You'll see in your packet some emails here. It is a donation of some camera and photography equipment from a member of our community, which is very, very appreciated. It is some Canon EOS Rebel and Canon EOS 5D, a Nikon Coolpix, a Canon ultrasonic zoom, Canon Speedlight, some bags, tripods, batteries, and wants to get these to some young photographers for yearbook or whatnot. And the total value of them is over the amount, so we have to approve the donation. So I'll entertain a motion then.
Make a motion that we approve the camera donation items as presented.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion on this?
Will these be available for like the AV club, or is it just for yearbook? Like, is it designated
Gives
for
us
the
an idea.
yearbook, or is it something that?
So
will be
I can
available?
talk about that, because that's,
Okay.
so they're actually gonna go right into that classroom. They're looking at how they can integrate for graphic arts. They're doing some really cool things already. So really like expanding that. They are available if AV Club needs them. Craig has some stuff too,
Yeah.
but like really looking at how, beyond the yearbook, because we do have a couple cameras, but like there's so many ways to integrate through graphic design and using these to do that, so.
And
just
ELOs or things that
photography
come up.
itself is pretty darn cool. Like,
Very.
and
Yeah.
how can we like start to? There could be an ELO related to
Right.
photography where a student maybe can't afford the materials. With that amount of things, like it's really exceptional. Like that's a great donation.
Yeah, these are professional level cameras, and they'll put them on a level playing field. Photography is a skill that's not everybody has it. I do not. Like I don't have an eye for photos, but like people that do, is really amazing. So anything we can do to encourage that stuff. So
So I have a question. Who's responsible for inventorying these items and keeping them up to date?
The teacher in that classroom, it'll be in the care of her. She is very meticulous about anything in that classroom. She's used to using very high-end software, high-end computers. I have full faith in that will happen, that she will take care of those. So she's the one that actually, they sought out her. She's the one facilitated this whole
Oh, wow.
donation, so.
cool.
Thank you.
Well, if she needs like lockers or something like that, or things
Yeah,
to
we
lock
have-
stuff up, let us
yeah.
know, and we'll figure out a way to make that happen. So, all right. Any further questions, discussion? All right. All those in favor of the motion to accept the donation of cameras and equipment, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Excellent. Let's get snapping. All right. Next thing on our agenda, we have 2 trips coming up here. One is the 2025 Washington, D.C. trip. From John Sweetland. You'll see in your packet here his preliminary letter detailing, sharing what they did in spring of 23. They went on a trip took 24 students down to DC, and they fundraised and did all that sort of thing. And then he's looking to do that again. So he's looking for an every other year kind of trip where they can go to DC and see all the stuff that you need to see in DC. So, entertain a motion so we can.
Yeah, make a motion that we approve the the idea of the 2025 Washington DC trip for high school students so that they can begin their planning and fundraising.
Okay.
Second.
And Kathleen second. All right. Comments, questions, concerns on this?
This was a good experience. I had a student that participated in this trip in 2023. It was a good experience. It was a lot of activity, and for this group of students currently in the high school and in that last group, there used to be a Washington DC trip that happened with the history club in 8th grade, and that no longer happens. And so this was a great way to substitute, and I think have almost a higher level of maturity and being able to go around and see the types of things that they did and have the right kind of conversations.
And as a chaperone for that trip, it was awesome to be
Yeah,
with
they
the
kept them busy,
students.
didn't they? He said he was going to tire them out, and then I heard that he
Tire
totally did.
out? Oh, I put up, so I can't even count, it was a lot. But just to put the kids, some of the things we did at night, some of the monuments, and just impressive, and the kids really gelled and really just experienced, and there's nothing like walking, at a Vietnam Wall in, dusk. Just absolutely impressive. So I look forward, I hope you support this moving forward, but I'm volunteering to go
right.
let's utilize John Speedman before he retires. So,
Yeah.
because he was really another wealth of knowledge, that history component with his experience.
Yeah, it'd be great to keep this going after he retires. I'd also love to see more students be able to go on this, because 24 is a good start, but I'd love to see as many as possible.
Yeah. Like fill the bus.
Yeah, fill the bus. Yeah.
Find out how many seats are on that bus.
Someone else going with me?
Yeah, sure.
Is the every other year a factor of, well, two things. One, is it simply because, John Sweetman only wants to do it every other year?
It's a costly trip.
It's a costly trip.
And really, we want to allow as many students as possible to be able to attend. So fundraising, that's why we're having the conversation about fundraising now, so that the cost isn't a prohibitive factor for some students to really get this experience.
And it doesn't, because it's every 2 years, nobody gets missed in the pot to go.
Right.
They took history this year, but they can't go.
No, it's not restrictive like that. So everybody's required to have history as a graduation requirement. So
everybody ideally could have a chance to go.
Yeah.
And it was a really diverse group last trip, which was awesome. It was great.
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions on that? Comments right there. All right. Follow the rule. Call the vote. All those in favor of approving the trip to DC preliminary so they can start fundraising and planning, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? All right. Have fun. And you might as well just say there, because you're going to talk about the next trip, which will be a couple weeks after that. So this one is for the 2025 Music Department Performance Tour to Nashville, Tennessee. As you may remember, they went to Washington, D.C. last year, and they are also going to do an every other year trip. And this year they have selected Nashville for the music part, as you can see. So I'll entertain a motion to start talking about that.
Make a motion that we approve the 2025 Music Department High School Performance Tour in Nashville as presented, so that they can start talking about planning and fundraising.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, Kathleen second. All right, let's talk about this one. So, do you have anything else to add besides the whole thing that she put here?
So I think this is really another great opportunity. You're talking about Nashville. You're talking about the music capital. It would be really just an incredible trip for students. Some students, you're hitting another diverse group of students. The students that, we did have some students that went on the Washington, D.C. trip that also went to the second Washington, D.C. trip, but I really think it really supports all of our student body in looking at how we can include students. And that is really, that's a huge opportunity for students. And, again, starting now really supports as many students as possible to go. And I know they do a great job, boosters and fundraising and, our students. So I think, looking at that and what that would mean for students would be really exceptional.
Cool. Questions on this one?
And this is open to the students that participate in the music program?
Yep. Yep, and we have, we have a large number of students. We also, we have chorus and band, and we have students that, do independent study and things like that related to their music. So this does include another large group of students that would have an opportunity.
Are you always at capacity on these trips, or like do people not, or can they not get in, or
I will say this one, I went on the one with the band the band and chorus last year, because I have 2 kids that go as well. And so I think there was only like 2 or 3 kids that did not go total out of the entire music department. Because
they just couldn't want to, or
they didn't want
they
to.
could have.
They could have, like they could have. It was more of a didn't want to or couldn't for another reason, but it wasn't that they were denied an opportunity.
And we really look at if a student struggling financially, how can we support that? Like we really look at that piece. We do not want to deny anybody, for the purpose of, financial constraints.
And so, like, as you see, that this has part of. I lost it on my page here. All right, there we go. It has 2 adjudicated performances where they actually sit down with professional musicians and then they actually get feedback and all that. And then they have master classes with professional conductors. So it's really cool. It just shows kids a different part of the country they've never been to and stuff like that.
So I have a question on especially this trip, if not both of these trips tonight that we're talking about. Don't we have funds for experiencing the arts that we can tap into on certain trips?
Yeah, so, go ahead, I was going to say.
We do, Kathleen, but we have had some concern, so we've taken that over at the SAU level, the approval of some of this. So what we have done is try to limit the amount of field trips that are paid for through this. I think Angel and I counted it up, and if we gave as much money to just field trips, which only address maybe 40 or 50 kids, we would run out of money very, very quickly. So what we're encouraging people to do is to bring experiences to the school so that instead of just 40 kids getting to see, a Broadway show and a trip to Nashville and this, we're talking about 350 kids being able to see a performance of some type. Or multiple performances. But we will give some money to these trips. The Experience in the Arts did fund a portion of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra trip that we did, but it's a significant amount of money, and if we felt like we needed to make sure that the arts are for everyone, not just the kids, in the music class.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I mean, even if there can be an allotment like $300 towards the trip, it helps to reduce a little bit.
Or even sponsor kids that can't, afford it. We'd be happy to do those kinds of pieces with it.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Thank you.
No, that's great. And make sure that any kid that wants to go with that, because it's part of a group, you're performing as a group, so you want to go there as, you're part of the band, you're part of the chorus. So.
I have a general question for Amanda on trips. How is the school covered, like liability? Is it Primex? So we're that blanket covers.
Yep.
Good old Primex.
Yep.
And because these trips they're ones that are organized through trip agencies, trip companies.
Right.
When you as a parent are signing your kid up to attend and like doing all of those sort of things, there's also a bunch of paperwork and waivers and stuff like that, in addition to things like setting up a payment plan and everything. So having stuff in advance to be able to plan is really helpful.
Cool.
I do like that there's college tour also mentioned in here,
Yeah.
because again, they're, depending on where the host performances will be, it's just, I'm a big fan of getting our students into different types of educational settings so that they can think about where their path is going to lead them.
I will say that when we did in DC, we played at, we did a lot of things at the Northern Virginia Community College in, I think, Alexandria or Arlington. And it was by far like the biggest and nicest community college I've ever been to. It's bigger than any community college in this state, bigger than any in Vermont. And it had a full-on performance arts center and everything. And it was, kids were like, this is a community college. Like, I can't believe it. So it was great.
Remember that.
Nothing wrong, no, it's great. And they kind of open their eyes, it's, oh, okay, this is what it's like.
That's amazing what they're getting done.
Yeah, they pack a lot, again, they pack a lot into 4 days. And,
You wear your sneakers.
Tired reading it.
yeah. All
Mr.
right,
Simula and I will discuss who gets to go.
that's right, rock, paper, scissors. So we'll see how many students are in their groups, and then that's how we'll figure out how many people get to go. All right, anything else on that music trip? Again, fundraising will begin in earnest, just like everyone else. All right, we'll call the vote on that one. All those in favor of approving the 2025 Music Department Performance Tour to Nashville so they can start fundraising and planning, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, abstentions, all right. Have fun. Okay, we got some policies. We can, all in second readings, we can do it in one lump if you want to go for it.
Except for the.
Yeah.
This is not involving these lump here, but because we've been talking about this so much, I feel like maybe if we could look at IGOA, which is field trips and excursions.
Oh,
I feel
not right now.
No.
Coming up in the future. Oh, yeah.
If we could put that on the agenda,
Sure.
IGOA.
Yeah, I think we've just recently updated that, but it might have been 6 years ago, actually.
It might, time flies.
Well, this says 2000, yeah, 5/28/19, 2019.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years.
Well, the thing is, it does not say anything about out of country. It does not say anything about scholarships.
We have one that deals with
I
the
think
country.
we do. Is there? I didn't see the separate one for that. I tried to look.
Maybe it's just a practice.
You
know,
It's a
like,
good question.
like the
Oh.
form, like,
Maybe we count it as
based on
upstate.
the, on the legacy form that we use.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I printed out the whole I section, and I didn't see anything about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, no, if it needs to be updated, it needs to be updated.
So I mean, if there is something, point me to it.
No.
Yeah, I'll check with the School Board Association and see what their newest, latest, greatest.
Yeah, I just think that we should get that
Yeah.
on the board, sooner than
On
later.
books, yeah. I just remember talking about like out of state and out of country trips at some
I mean,
point.
there's no mention of that, and
But maybe we just said out of country. Well, you're out of state, so all the same
No,
things
it
apply
has been a column on that legacy form since
forever.
forever.
it says
So,
if the trip is overnight, out of state field trips or excursions. I guess that's really out of state.
Yeah, I think that's if I
Very
remember.
out of state.
yeah.
Way out of
If
state.
I remember, yeah.
All right.
All right, go for a lump.
Yep, I'll make a
Anyway, sorry.
motion, there'll be one of them left out for
Yep.
rescission. Make motion that we adopt, for second reading and adoption of policy JFAG, enrollment of children of non-resident staff, policy KDBA, district signage, policy IGA, curriculum development, policy IF, instructional program, and policy DFGA, crowdfunding.
I'll second.
All right. So we'll just go through these lists, and if you have any comments on each one, we'll talk about it at that point. Policy JFAG, enrollment of children of non-resident staff. This is a new one for us, and it gets us on the books so that we are very clear.
Did we make changes from last?
Whatever the suggested changes were.
There were some, if I remember right.
I know it was in the crowdfunding that we did add,
Yep.
make some changes.
On February 13th.
I will say on this one that there is legislature out there that might make it mandatory for school districts to allow students of their employees to attend.
All right.
I'm not sure it's will pass. I don't think they've worked out all of the ramifications around that. So I'm just going to make you aware of that. I don't think it hurts to put this one on the books. So.
Well, they can copy our policy.
There you go.
All right, cool. So that one's that one. KDBA, district signage, we didn't change anything on that. That one, any comments on that? Right. Next, IGA, curriculum development. I don't believe we made any changes to that last time.
This is basically NHSBA policy. I
Yeah.
believe. So we're
Yes.
covered in all those bases.
Yes.
Honestly, it would be really nice if there was sort of a belief statement somewhere about curriculum and I don't know if this is the one to have it on, this is specifically for development, but one of the things that is, when it says the board, the second paragraph, when the board will encourage and support the professional staff in its efforts to investigate new curricular ideas, develop and improve programs, and evaluate results. Do we want to say new evidence-based and or peer-reviewed? Or is it anything goes?
I mean, that's up to you. I would leave it.
You would leave it?
I would leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But if you want to change that, certainly.
Well, it's just, and then I don't, the 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph, the board will make final decisions on curriculum change. We do that, right?
Yeah, so when there's a new curriculum that's implemented, you typically get a presentation and then you approve it or don't.
I guess I don't remember that voting part.
We just haven't done one in a long time.
I think it's been more related to conversations that we have about what are the textbooks and workbooks and materials, you know, and switching out from one reading program to another, or that sort of thing. That's the
Right,
context in which usually it's those conversations.
But so it looks like, okay, we just switched. When you say curriculum change, you mean major curriculum.
Yeah, like
So
the
like
last,
when we went to IM,
yeah.
that would be.
And even more so, the last major curriculum change I'm thinking about is the Reading Wonders change, where it was a huge expense, right? So you all voted to approve that. I think that was my first year in district, 9 years ago, and that was a significant expense. You know, Angel's done a really good job of really explaining it to the EIC group. They're really talking about the curriculum changes that she's looking to make. But we can make sure that she comes and does, you know, a better presentation as we start to explore other reading programs next year.
Right.
You know, and making those kind of changes. So, yeah, we can make sure that that's a little more clear, Hope, in how we do it.
Yeah, I guess that would, was that
Absolutely.
fuzzy? Is that gonna get?
It's a little fuzzy, but we'll make sure we can clarify it, but, yeah, absolutely.
We can
I
always
mean, you wanna put the word final, or, no? I mean, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's, and it really has to do with some of the financial ramifications to some of these curriculum.
Right, but to me, when you read that, it's like every curriculum change, you gotta come here and get it approved.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Like every change to a syllabus or?
Right.
Well, that's the more of the end I'm worried about.
But this is not much different than what we already have.
If that doesn't, you know,
Yeah,
that's all I was thinking about.
yeah, that's not a bad, now that you're bringing it around that way.
Yeah,
Maybe instead of curriculum change, it's curriculum of adoption.
There you go.
yeah.
Or major curriculum.
Major
curriculum.
curriculum change.
Yeah, I don't wanna.
It provides a little more cover.
Yeah.
right?
Well, you didn't go to the board, you didn't,
Right,
you know, I
right.
mean, and yes, we do need to know when fundamental change.
Yeah. If they're like, you know, we used to teach math this way, and now we're gonna teach it this way,
Right.
that's a major change.
Yes.
But if
I
it's
think
like,
that-
we're gonna use this workbook instead of that workbook, but it's from the same company.
And that all should be kind of public knowledge at the point you get to that point anyways. when you
Absolutely.
Talk to
Yeah.
so many people and, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my
Sure.
thinking.
No, that's good, that's good catch.
Or even changing around that first sentence of the fourth paragraph to make it the last sentence. So instead of saying the board will make final decisions on curriculum change, don't start with that sentence. Start with the superintendent or designee, blah, 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 blah. Recommendations will be submitted to the board for its consideration and adoption. The board will make final decision on major curriculum change, whatever.
I like that better,
Yeah, that sounds good.
because it flows progressively through
Yeah.
the system. Like,
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Everyone good with that? Okey doke. Next one, IF, instructional program. Updating a 30-year-old policy. Just dust this off a little bit. Yeah. It's all good. Nothing changed, so.
And this is another one we really updated with NHSBA. That was-
Yeah.
And they needed to, because July 2015.
All right, and then the last one is crowdfunding, DFGA, just the things that we just tweaked. We made it so that would be defining that it's for district employees and not trying to control everybody that's trying to raise money on behalf of our kids. We appreciate it. All right. Anything else on any of those? Going once, going twice. All right. All those in favor for second reading and adoption of policy KBBA, IGA, JFAG, IF, DFGA, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. And now we have a decision here.
I make a motion that we rescind policy IFR, organizing and planning for curriculum work.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, Captain, seconds. Okay, all those in favor of rescinding policy IF-R signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. You do have in your packet the curriculum newsletter is in there, so that's cool. Our next meeting will not be until, are we doing the 26th?
Yes, I believe it is.
All righty, March 26th, that'll be reorganization day. We will have to reorganize the committee, so please think about the committee that you may want to be on. If you want to do anything different, we'll do officers, we'll do the board organization orientation for new members. We'll read our identification, we'll have vote results, deliberative session date, we'll set that. Because that's good, just like Mark, just get that date set. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll have staff nominations in the MS-22, but it'll be a pretty much just organizational meeting, and obviously anything else that might come up, but we typically keep it light for that meeting on purpose. Anything else for that meeting? Okay. Public comment? Anything? All right. Welcome, thank you for coming. All right, personnel, do we have anything for public for
I
personnel?
do not have any
Okay.
resignations or nominations.
For personnel?
Tim, can you back up?
Oh, sure.
For agenda's next
Oh, yeah.
meeting? I'm not going to be here,
Oh, okay.
but that's not what I'm.
Okay, all right, well, good to know, that's good to know.
No, what about Earth Day? Could we ever, is there like, that's April, or do we want to, would that be better off in April, or?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like what the school, like.
Sure, an update on what the school would be doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
there we go, yeah, that'd be a good day for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'll be a couple weeks out. Yeah, just what is each school doing for Earth Day?
I think we're actually in session on Earth Day this year.
The 20th?
Sometimes,
What
when is
is
it, the
Earth Day?
21st?
21st?
I feel like it's April 21st, is that Earth Day? I feel like that's it.
Isn't that right?
I feel like it's
Yeah, 22nd,
Oh.
Monday the 22nd. So,
And we'll be in school, so
Yep.
Earth Day plans, we can get that.
cool.
Sorry.
But
No.
even just having we get, by then we'll have the results of the warrant article about the
Sustainability.
new fund.
Budget,
We'll, the grant stuff that we've done, all sorts of things.
We do have non-public, correct?
We do.
All right, so take a motion for purposes of hiring. Right now? Sure, okay, all right. Before we go to non-public, I want to give Candace a thank you gift. Awesome. Thank you. And I'll just furiously sign the card quickly. Thank you so much.
Open it now, open it now.
I brought this because
Oh, thanks.
this next person.
Oh my God, the rub band, it's been well done.
Oh,
I
that's good.
promise it's all
Oh,
in
thank
there.
you.
That's awesome.
I have to find mine. Amanda's so excited to have you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. This is amazing. I am like such a water bottle person.
Ah, she knew it.
I know.
You
And you
nailed
spelled
it.
my name right.
Martha did that, yep, she did that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks for
guys.
everything.
You'll never forget us.
No, huh?
Oh, well, I was telling Amanda, I was like, now the nice thing is, I wasn't allowed to be a volunteer nurse thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And you know what else? You know
So
who
it
else
opens
needs?
up other opportunities.
You know who else needs nurses? Field trips.
Yeah, field trips,
Absolutely.
nurses.
It's a great way to do it.
We don't usually move this fast.
I know. And then there's a card if you want to sign after for Ellie Davis, who was on the budget committee, who stepped down this year. So, and she's been on for a very long time. So, All right, I guess now we can go to non-public. So.
I'll make a motion that we go into non-public.
Okay.
Second?
Second, Kathleen. All right, Danielle.
Yes.
Tim, yes. Kathleen.
Yes.
Hope.
Yep.
Candace
Yes.
and Vicky.
Yes.
All right, we are.